So how did you come to know of SAP? All of you. How did you come to know of SAP? I'm just curious. Who did anyone tell you about SAP, or did you research about SAP? How did you come to know of it?
Basically, top MNC companies is using SAP software is on this.
Correct. Okay.
So I want to do that.
Okay. All right. So what is SAP? What do you think SAP is?
Systems, applications, and programs.
Yeah, that is the full form. But what is
Okay, sir.
SAP really?
It is an ERP software to make
Ah,
work easy.
correct. Okay. So basically SAP is an ERP systems. Okay.
Yes.
Systems, application, product in data processing.
Yes, sir, I'm not able to see anything. Are you writing something?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm able to see. Yeah.
So like you said, SAP is an ERP system. Before we jump to SAP, before discussing what SAP is, it's important to understand the importance of what an ERP system is. Because all the software packages comes under the bracket of ERP. What is ERP? Enterprise
Independent resources
Resource
planning.
Planning. Enterprise Resource Planning. What is an enterprise? Your business, organization, basically any legally established entity with the motive of making profits is an enterprise. Okay. Resource. What is a resource? Resource means all the resources of the organization which are put together to earn profits, such as money, materials, machinery, manpower. So all these are the resources which are collectively put together, used together in an organization to earn profits, to maximize profits. And what is planning? What could planning refer to? Planning refers to planning of these resources. Every resource has a dedicated department in charge of planning, managing, and executing their activities. So the resource money is being planned, managed, and executed by the finance department. Materials is being planned, managed, and executed by the procurement. Machinery, the activities of machinery resource is planned, managed, and executed by the production department. Manpower, which department takes care of, handles the manpower activities? HR. Okay. So every resource has got a particular department to plan, manage, and execute their activities. Now, why is planning so important in an organization? Why do you need to plan the activities in an organization? What is the importance of planning? Anyone? Any one of you? Shruti, Kishore?
Hello.
Yes, Gangadhar, please go ahead.
Without planning, we can't do effective utilization of resources. And
Yeah, that is what. Without planning, not possible. I'm asking you,
yes.
what is its importance? Why? See, basically planning helps us to optimally utilize all the resources. Okay, planning helps us to use all the resources in an optimum manner so that we can reduce the wastages. See, what is the objective of your business? When you run a business, what is your motive? Profits, correct? Profits can be earned by increasing your revenue through sales. That is one. Profits can also be increased through reduction in cost, which is an indirect contribution. Correct? Agreed? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Either a direct contribution through increase in sales or an indirect contribution by reduction in the cost. So planning helps us to reduce the wastages and thereby optimally utilize our resources. So every department will take care of the resources allotted to them. So what is the function of an ERP system basically? So we can say ERP is a software system which systematically stores the day-to-day transactional activities in a structured manner so that whenever information needs to be recalled, it can be retrieved quickly and presented to the management for decision making purpose. Okay, this is what is an ERP. Are you clear with this? Do you need any clarification? Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there are lots of ERPs available in the market. SAP is one such ERP. SAP is one such ERP among lots of ERPs. Oracle is another ERP. JD Edwards, Microsoft Dynamics. Okay. Ban. In the UK, you have Sage, which is quite popular among the small and medium enterprises. In America, you have QuickBooks, very popular among the small and medium enterprises. Xero, Navizon. Okay. Then here we have our own Tally, a very small ERP system primarily meant for accounting and inventory purposes. Nevertheless, comes under the category of ERP systems. Okay. So these are all the various popular ERPs in the world. SAP was started in 1972 by 5 IBM people working in IBM. They joined together and started something called SAP. Now, in SAP, you have different modules based on your specialization, educational background, work experience. Only that module you can select and pursue that module. Two types of modules, functional and technical. We belong in the functional category. FI, CO. By the way, FI and CO are two different modules. FI refers to financial accounting, CO refers to controlling module. Okay. Then we have materials management, sales and distribution, production planning, human capital management, project systems, plant maintenance, real estate management. Okay. So like this, you have more than 50-60 modules, logistics. Okay. More than 50-60 modules. So you can take up a module in which you are specialized. Okay. Technical, you have basically two technical modules, ABAP and BASIS. ABAPers are the technical people who do the, you need to have the knowledge of your coding, programming, your scripting knowledge should be good. Okay. BASIS are the technical people who, they're very important people like the finance people and the functional side. Basis person takes care of the entire security, network systems, database. Okay, you should have knowledge of database, relational database management systems, operating systems knowledge you should have, Windows, Linux. Okay, so these are the people from the technical side, and these are the functional people. We'll focus on FICO as of now. All right. Career opportunities in SAP. And in fact, as a matter of fact, in any ERP system, there are two kinds of people. One is an end user, and the other is a consultant. Okay. Any idea who is a end user, who is a consultant? Or anywhere you have heard of these words, end user, consultant?
Yes, sir. The configuration of this ERP is made by a consultant, and it is used by end user. If I'm
Okay,
not
what is
wrong.
the? Yeah, you are correct. You are saying this because you're working in SAP. Good, but can you explain it to me in as if you don't know anything, in a layman's term? Okay, so basically, the role of an end user is to post the business transactions. I'll explain this. Like you said, the job of a consultant, primary job role of a consultant is to the configurations, and a consultant should also have knowledge of the business transactions. All right, we'll see what business transactions are, what configurations are. So who is an end user? An end user is the final user of the product. In this case, an end user is the final user of the ERP system named SAP. An end user can be an accountant, who posts the day-to-day accounting transactions. And end users can be the managers who view the daily reports, okay, who view the daily various kinds of reports for the this thing. GL reports, accounts receivable reports, how much payment is pending from the customer, how much payment we have to make the customer. So various kinds of reports the managers view. They can be the end user, or end user can also be the management staff, the top level management, the management staff who view the financial reports, financial statements, profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow statement, fund flow statement, and all, for various kinds of decision making purposes. So an end user can be any one of them. For an end user, there has to be a system in place in which they can record their day-to-day transactions. A consultant is a person who sets up the settings for them. The backend settings is what is called the configurations, because without the settings being done, an end user will never be able to post any kind of accounting transaction. Let's see this with an example. Say for an example, a company called Amul. Okay, Amul is a dairy manufacturing organization into cheese, butter, milk, ice creams, yogurt, various kinds of dairy products. Amul is currently using an ERP system called Tally. Okay, Amul is currently using a system called Tally. Now Amul wishes to migrate to SAP. All the three of you belong to the management of Amul. All the three of you have taken a decision to migrate to SAP. What is it that the first thing you people will do? Just common business sense. I'm not talking here about any system. I'm not talking about SAP accounts or something. You have this business called Amul. What will you do? What business decision will you take first? Any one of you. What is the first thing that you will do? You have decided to migrate to SAP. Remove Tally from your system. So what will you do?
We need to save all the data.
Okay. Is there anything that you would do before that?
I should purchase it.
Yes, Shruti?
Will inquire how it works.
See, before purchasing, Kishore, you said that, right?
Yeah.
Before purchasing, first you need to find out the vendors who can help you in installing SAP. Correct? Who
Yeah.
are those people? Who are those companies who can help me, who can guide me in installing SAP afresh in my system? Remove Tally out of my system. All these backups, licenses, number of users to be decided, all these will come later stage. First things first, I need to decide which company will get SAP installed in my system at a competitive price. Now, obviously, you are going to go to 3 or 4 companies. Say IBM is there, TCS, Infosys, Capgemini, Accenture. Okay, you're going to go to 3 or 4 of them. Obviously, whoever offers the least price. Okay, so you will evaluate a lot of things. Price is one of the factors. Whoever offers the least price, good support. Okay, you will give the contract to them. Correct? So,
Yes.
assuming, I'm just taking an example, IBM has given the best rate and offers a good support also. So Amul gives the contract of implementation to IBM. Okay. Amul is the end user who will be migrating from Tally to SAP. IBM is referred to as the SAP consulting firm, or people who come from here are referred to as the SAP consultants. So SAP consultants from IBM will travel to the client location wherever Amul is, and they would go to their respective departments. Okay. So as a finance consultant, I will only go to the finance department of end user. The FICO consultant will go to the finance department. The materials management consultant will go to the purchase department or the procurement. Production planning consultant goes to the production department. HCM consultant goes to the HR department. QM consultant goes to the quality department. Likewise, plant maintenance, project systems. Okay. So we will concentrate only on our FICO. So what does a FICO consultant do? Go to the finance department of Amul or the client or the end user. They go to the finance department of Amul and interact with the end users of the finance department of Amul. Why do they need to interact with the finance department? Why Why do you need to go to the finance department? Is there a purpose? What information do you need to gather? Okay. Shruti, you anything? Are you aware of?
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
maybe don't know about the postings done by them before.
Yes, some partially correct. Yes. The consultants go to their respective department to understand and document the existing business process. What is the meaning of business process? The current process that is followed in the organization. I will see what is it that you are going to do in SAP. Nothing magical. You are going to understand the existing process that Amol is doing in Tally, and you are going to document it and going to put it in SAP system. You got it? What are the accounting transactions that is being posted in Tally? What are the reports that the managers view in Tally? These are the requirements that we collect and gather from the end users. We document it and then we incorporate it in the SAP system. Okay. You understand why we go to the finance department or we go and interact with the end users? To collect the existing business process. Are you clear, or does it need any clarification?
Clear, sir.
Okay, good. So based on the requirements gathered by the based on the requirements of the user, we do the configuration. A consultant does the configuration. Configurations are nothing but the backend settings. In simple layman language, configurations or customizations are the backend settings which we do in order that the user can post their transactions. No transactions can be posted without the proper configurations. Okay. Once all the configurations are done relating to accounts receivable, accounts payable, bank accounting, fixed asset accounting, meaning the entire finance process, once you do all the complete configurations, a consultant should also be aware of the business transactions. A consultant should also be aware of how to post the day-to-day accounting transactions that is posted by an end user. Why? Two reasons: testing and training. Okay. See, testing means I will post, once all the configurations are done, I will post all the transactions that are being posted by the end user. Okay. And if any error comes up, then it gives me an opportunity to review the transactions, whether the errors are at the configuration side or whether the errors are arising because I have done something wrong at the transaction level itself. So testing gives us an opportunity to review the transactions, because we cannot hand over the system just like that to the end user without testing if the system is throwing any errors or not. And then training the end user. Okay, training the end user on how to use the system SAP. So far they are using Tally. Now they will be using SAP. It's a new system. We need not tell them on what to do on the accounting part, but how to post the accounting transaction SAP. Give them documentations along with screenshots as to how to post the transactions, how reports can be seen. Okay. So from testing and training point of view, a consultant has to essentially know the business transactions also. Okay. This is as regards what the job roles of an end user and a consultant are. Okay, are you clear with this? Can we proceed to the next?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, we have something called architecture. Okay. Architecture. What is architecture? What does architecture mean? Means what are the components that go in building the system SAP? Okay. These are the components that go in building SAP system. SAP is built on 3 layers. First, presentation layer. Next, application layer. And database. Presentation layer is nothing but the physical screen, the GUI, from where we post the transaction, see, or look into the reports. The physical layout, the physical screen basically. See, for example, I'll log into the system and show you for better clarity. So the physical screen from where you view the reports, from where you want to post the transaction, whichever module you want to post. Okay, say I want to view the, I want to see the trial balance, for example. Okay, for this company code AB01. So basically, whatever reports you want to view, whatever trial balance that you want to, whatever transactions that you want to see, the physical screen, the physical layout is what is referred to as the presentation layer, from where you do the activities. Now, I'll come to application layer in a bit. Database. What is the meaning of database? A huge collection of data is referred to as the database. Yeah. A huge collection of data is referred to as a database. When you post every transaction, it goes and sits, it gets saved in tables. Okay. Now, is it enough if you post a transaction once and forget about it? You will definitely want to view those transactions at a later date, right? Based on those transactions, you would want to see various reports, ledger balances, customer balances. So based on the transactions, at the end, financial statements are also prepared, correct? So it's not enough if we post the transaction once and forget about it. So I need to view the reports at a later stage, generate new reports, financial statement needs to be viewed. So how can I do that? So the data needs to be pulled back from the database. Okay. When I enter a particular command in the presentation layer, okay, for example, I want to view the customer report, customer status. Okay, I enter a particular transaction and for this company, I want to view the status of this customer. Okay. Now this is our physical screen, the GUI or presentation layer, so to speak. From the presentation layer, I want to view the customer related information. All the customer related information which is stored in the database. How can we access that? With the help of application layer. So application layer is the real brain of SAP. It acts as it consists of a set of logical programs, which when you execute, will go to the relevant database. Now, when I want to access some customer related information, it will go to the customer related tables, fetch all the customer related information and throw it back to me in the presentation layer. Okay, that's the job of application layer. So in short, it acts as a bridge between presentation and database. You understand? You understand what application layer does? Whatever information the user wants is processed in the presentation layer. It processes at the backend, goes to the database, fetches whatever information is required and throws it back in the presentation layer. So I've entered the necessary parameters that for this customer, I need all the relevant information, and I've given a date range for a period of 1 year. Okay. When I click on execute now, it will take a couple of seconds, go to the database and throw all the information that I want. Now I can read the reports. This customer has to pay me 75,000 pounds. Okay. This customer owes us money for 75,000 pounds. There are two sales invoice and one is an asset sold to the customer for 25,000. So in total, the customer owes us 75,000 pounds. There are other transaction details also for sales returns, incoming payment and all those things that we'll see how to read a report and all those things when we go to the particular topic. But this is the importance of application layer to act as a bridge between presentation and database. Are you clear with this? Any doubts with the architecture? This is why it is also called a 3-tier architecture. So are you clear with this? Are you clear with the concept of architecture?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. All right, so this is as regards the brief introduction of SAP and what SAP is all, and the course content, a brief overview of the topics that we'll be covering. In FI, FI is referred to as financial accounting. Financial accounting is primarily meant for external reporting purposes. External reporting means reporting to the external people like shareholders, stakeholders, banks, auditors, tax authorities, even new investors. Why? Because these people have invested money in your organization. They want to know the financial health of your organization. Okay. A new investor will definitely want to know whether it is worthwhile investing in the company or not. What is the payback period? What is the return on investment? Okay. What is the cash flow status? What is the profitability status? So these information, the external people can only study through your financial statements, the profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow and fund flow statements and all. Okay. So financial accounting helps us do the external reporting. The topics that we'll be covering here is enterprise structure, entering the structure of the client, global settings, financial accounting, global settings, general ledger accounting new, accounts receivable, accounts payable, bank accounting, wherein you will have bank reconciliation, manual bank statement, electronic bank statement, recording of cash transactions through cash journal, fixed asset accounting. Asset refers to fixed asset. Tax on sales and purchase. Tax on sales and purchases. This is our FI part. Okay. Next is CO. Controlling, we'll be looking at the overview of controlling process. Controlling is a separate module by itself. It's a separate module which is exclusively meant for internal reporting purposes. Okay. We'll be looking at those topics which have a connection with the FI. General controlling, cost element accounting, cost center accounting, profit center accounting, and internal orders. Okay. And at the very end, after we cover FI and CO, we'll be looking at how to create a trial balance, financial statement version, and then obviously financial statements. Financial statement, that is the income statement and the balance sheet, and then carry forward of balances. What is carry forward of balance? Any idea? Carry forward of balance to the reserves and surplus account or retained earnings account. At the year end, we prepare a P&L account, correct? What is the balance of this profit and loss? We either get a profit or a loss. Where do we take this profit or loss to? The balance sheet. Okay. Under the liability side, there is an item called reserves and surplus. We carry forward this balance to the reserves and surplus account, to the, in SAP we call it the retained earnings account. Okay. So this is the broad skeleton of what we'll be covering. Detailed course curriculum will be given to you by the institute. I'll share the course content with them. I've shared it with them. You can get the detailed content of individually inside what we'll be covering at the configuration level as well as at the business transaction level, what all we'll be covering. Okay. So with this, my demo comes to an end. All right.